Shalom. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Also, I want to acknowledge all the Akyam for pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And the Spirit just has me today in Exodus 14:21, speaking about the first Exodus when we left Egypt. The Israelites crossed over the Red Sea, and there's a more accurate name. The elders spoke on it in the past, and I can't remember what it was, but the sea that Moses split, had a different name. So I'm gonna have to look that up, Lord willing. All right, but anyway, this is Exodus 14:21. It says, "And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided." All right. So anything is possible with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, He can change a sea into dry ground. You see, and let's see. Let me look for that verse. So let's get that verse real quick out of Matthew 19:26. It says, "But Yahushua beheld them and said unto them, With men this is impossible, but with Yahweh all things are possible." All right. And a perfect example is in Exodus 14:21. All right, where the sea was parted. All right, parted asunder, and dry land was made. It says, "And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left." So they're walking in between the sea, and the wall would have been the water on the right and left side of them. And the Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses and his chariots and his horsemen. And it came to pass that in the morning watch, the Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai looked unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians. And that host word, it means army. All right, and that pillar of fire and of the cloud is referring to a so-called chariot, because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you see, they see everything because they have the chariots. All right, the chariots are angels. Another word for angel is messenger. All right, so it says, "Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai looked unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and of the cloud." So when those chariots are popping up, hey, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. And we were leaving Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So it's just well, I want to pull out a video, Lord willing, if I can here in a minute, because there have been some chariot sightings shaped like pyramids. All right, let me keep reading. Verse 25, "And took off their chariot wheels, and they drave them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, Let us flee from the face of Israel, for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai fighteth for them against the Egyptians." And the modern day Egyptian is the Edomite, because we know this is spiritual Egypt. All right, tells you that in Revelation. So it's the same thing, man. We're going to get liberated by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. We don't have to fight. Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is going to deliver us. All right, we don't have to lay a finger on the Edomites. Not right now, anyway. You see, Exodus 14:26. And Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand over the sea, that the waters may come up again upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots, and upon their horsemen. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its strength when the morning appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it. And Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. Alright? This also shows you that the whole world is not God's chosen people. Otherwise, why would he kill all the Egyptians? Why would he kill the army? Why would he kill the firstborn? Verse 28. And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen and all the host of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. There remained not so much as one of them. So the whole host, which is army of Egypt, not even one was remaining after that, right? They were delivered by the mighty hand of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, all right? And it's through his prophet, Moses, who had to, Moses had to lift his arm up, right? Let's get it. Stretch forth his, verse 27, and Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea. See? So Yahweh B'Shem uses his prophets for vengeance, all right? And right now, our mouths are vengeance to the heathen. But pretty soon, it's going to be the chariots that are going to execute vengeance upon the heathen, starting out with Esau, Edom, who is the modern-day Pharaoh, the modern-day Egyptian. You got sleepy Joe Biden would be modern-day Pharaoh. And then you have Babylon America, which is also spiritual Egypt in the scripture. Verse 29, But the children of Israel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. Thus saith Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore. And Israel saw that great work which Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai did upon the Egyptians. And the people feared Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai and believed Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai and his servant Moses. Alright? So our people are so stubborn, that they're not going to believe Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai until we have our second Exodus, alright, which is going to be on the chariots. We're going to get taken up in a chariot, what you would call a UFO, during the thermonuclear war, alright? This is the first Exodus we're reading about, but the second Exodus is prophesied, and it has not come to pass yet, but Lord's will, it'll come pass sooner than later, because we want to get the fuck up out of here. And it's going to be a more magnificent Exodus, because on the first Exodus, it was the one chariot, the pillar of cloud, that opened up the ocean when Moses stretched out his hand. But the next Exodus, where Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai are going to gather the elect out of the four corners of the earth, by the chariots, by way of a so-called UFO. That's what's going to be a magnificent deliverance out of spiritual Egypt, all right? Because we're in bondage here too, man. Whether you want to, receive that or not, we are in bondage here in spiritual Egypt, all right? Let's see. Just wanted to, on a side note, a little bit. Let's go to 2 Kings and 2. Let's read it. And it came. This is 2 Kings 2 verse 1. And it came to pass when Yahweh Bashem Yahushai would take up Elijah into heaven by a whirlwind, that Elijah went with Elisha from Gilgal. All right, so I just wanted to show you that word whirlwind, and it's a metaphor for the chariot of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. Let me see. So this is just, let's read 11. And it came to pass as they still went on and talked that, behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven, which is a so-called UFO, a chariot. All right, that's the same thing that's where Yahweh Bashem Yahushai looked upon the Egyptian armies that were pursuing the Israelites. Okay, it was a chariot that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai saw that, and that's when he said, "Hey Moses, lift up your hand, stretch forth your hand," and he was able to part the Red Sea. All right, so in this case, it's being referred to as a whirlwind, and Elijah went up. All right, so we're going to read it. Verse 12. And Elisha, which saw Elijah go up, said, and Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes, and rent them in two pieces. So Elisha, he was given a double portion of Elijah's faith, because he witnessed Elijah go up in the chariot. All right, if you go read this chapter yourself, that's what it's dealing with. Okay, but I just wanted to show that because there is a video. Let me just show you this, because I want to show you this. Let's see. There were a couple videos, because there was a blue one that I saw one of the brothers post also, but we'll show this one that was at night.
Infallible up to 24-hour freshwear by L'Oreal Paris. A lightweight foundation that...
Hate when it shows an ad when you're not trying to look at no damn ads. So I'll show you this real quick. This is through the Spirit. This just I saw this video. Lots of brothers saw it.
Part of a report on unidentified aerial phenomenon to be presented to Congress this summer. Already online, some skeptics say the images are caused by cameras trying to focus, but some of the objects go beyond just flying in the sky. One shows a spherical object dipping into the ocean, similar to an incident in Puerto Rico where an object, say the images are caused by cameras trying to focus, but some of the objects go beyond just flying in the sky. Pentagon confirming the images obtained by documentary filmmaker Jeremy Corbell were taken by Navy personnel, expected to be a part of a report on unidentified aerial phenomenon to be presented to Congress this summer. Already online, some skeptics say the images are caused by cameras trying to focus, but some of the objects go beyond.
Well, let's look at this one.
Meantime, UFO sightings in New York have nearly doubled since the pandemic began, and we are getting new video from the Navy showing pyramid-shaped objects flying in the sky. Brian Yennis is live for us in Brooklyn, New York. Brian, good morning.
Trace, good morning.
So anyway, I just wanted to show you that whirlwind-shaped pyramid, that, because through the Spirit, I was listening to some music this weekend, and I came across the song that I never really thought about it, but back in the day, when I used to listen to this So let's see if I can pull up the lyrics to that song. See if there's anything, because this is freestyle and I didn't prepare to go into this. Let's see if we can see anything in the lyrics. Let's see. One of the lines is right at the top of the screen. It says, "With knowledge as strong as a whirlwind pyramid," and then the hook is "Whirlwind Pyramid." You see? So, I just, like I said, I thought it was spiritual to see that, because I had this, the cassette tape, back in 89, 1990. I was only 12 or 13 years old. But look at this. Pop the lid, yeah. See a whirlwind pyramid. See? So it's just, everything's spiritual, man. Then look at, hid behind a whirlwind pyramid. Now you can go look up the song. There's nothing special about the song, but definitely the title caught my eye, especially after what Esau's military caught on camera, was literally a whirlwind pyramid. So anyway, with that, just wanted to focus on the exodus of Israel out of Egypt, which Egypt's symbolic is that pyramid, right? That pyramid is a symbol for bondage. That's why it's on your dollar. You're a slave to that dollar, and you got the pyramid on your dollar bill, all right? And again, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, I came across this title because I was listening to the DOC this weekend. And I didn't even, honestly, I didn't even remember there was a song called Whirlwind Pyramid on that album. So anyway, with that, I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem, Rakah Quadash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. I also want to acknowledge all the Akyam for pushing this truth with sincerity, all right? Shalom to the elect.